Remember the beer we drank from Casa? I remember the types of soap and pomade that kept our girls alive. Their makeup and so on. There's little things that make them feel they were still humans. And we kept it for 3 years. Even now, I still feel very proud of the fact. Oh yes.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 holy,
Special dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPF families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, come and revive the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your magic, I pick a cup and I'm no wow. Hey, I don't make a Mazi for it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Right, get it now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Special dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPF families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revive the vanishing to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your magic, I pick a cup and I'm no wow. Hey, I don't make a Mazi for it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Get it now. Holy, holy,
Greetings, Biafrans, wherever you are. On the face of this very night, once again, we welcome you to our live and interactive session of our unscheduled broadcast this very evening of the 15th day of October in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. We are coming to you live and direct as I promised you last night. Due to the frustration and disappointment from enemies of freedom, I promised all of you that I will broadcast in the morning and this evening and also tomorrow morning as well at 7 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow I'll be live on air as well. I welcome each and every one of you, and as I welcome you, I encourage you to welcome other people as well, because Facebook does not send out any notifications anymore when I am live on air. They are suppressing the number of followers that we have. They are suppressing the number of people that like our page. So this evening, we came slightly more prepared than last night. Before I go on to pray or even to introduce myself, there is a very important announcement that I must make to ensure that our people are following this very program this evening, because we don't know what our enemies might do. That is the reason why today, unlike yesterday, we came prepared, very much prepared. Once again, we do have a backup, should I say, Facebook Live that we are using at Kosiso Chukwu Chibudo. We are using it this very evening. It is also live. We are live there. If they kick you out on my main page at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am now telling you where to go to. And I want that distributed everywhere as well. Facebook will inevitably suppress us once they have designed and rigged their system in such a way that once we hit 7,500 people, automatically their system will begin to remove people. They will begin to remove people until it comes to 337. Once they get to 337, they shut it down completely. I then have to restart the system. So you must be very resolute and determined this very evening. We are broadcasting live and direct to the entirety of humanity, as I said earlier. On Kosiso Chukwu Chibudo, we are there also live. We are there live as well. If they're going to suppress it, I do not know. I know they have been holding it down for a very long time. If they're going to do the same thing this evening, I have no idea. But we must proceed all the same. You must all be aware, this is an announcement that we have pinned on the thread of this very program this evening. Please be aware that during this very live presentation, this evening of the 15th of October 2020, Facebook is going to suppress our audience numbers. They will remove some of you. So if you're watching on Facebook, I am warning you this night with the time standing at 3 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening, Facebook will inevitably remove some of you. If they do, please understand that we have alternative platforms. We are doing the best we can to make it interactive. We have an app out already that is interactive, and when I'm live broadcasting, you can chat with me, but we have not secured the copyrights to it. We need to secure the copyrights to it for us to be able to use it, so that when DSS and our enemies and saboteurs, even those on feeding bottle, when they try to copy what we are doing, we can then take them to court and they will suffer for it. So this evening we are on IPOB Community Radio app. You must have that on your phone. IPOB Community Radio app. If you're kicked out of Facebook, that is where you can listen to us. We are also on Radio BIAFRA app. We are on Radio BIAFRA app. Please do bear that in mind. Very, very important, please. We are on Radio BIAFRA app as well. We are on Radio Garden. It's an app. Radio, then Garden. It is also an app. You must download. All of you people must have all these applications on their phones. Very, very important. You must have all these applications on your phones. The number one app to have on your phone is IPOB Community Radio app. Very, very important. IPOB Community Radio. Very important. Second one to have is Radio Biafra app itself. The original one, please. The people have copyrighted and messed everything up. There are many of them everywhere, but look for the original one, Radio Biafra app. There is an app independently owned called Radio Garden. Go and download it. Radio Garden app. Download it. Search for Radio Biafra. It is there. Pin it on your phone. You can listen to us all the time. There is tuning radio as well. All the things I'm reading out to you is pinned on the thread. If you go to my page at Mazi Nnamdi, Kanu, it is there. You can follow it there. There is another one called Sweet Radio. Sweet Radio app. Download it on your phone. It is an independent app owned by white people, but it is working excellently well. There is also one called Simple Radio. Also download Simple Radios. Therefore, I will repeat, IPOB Community Radio is an app. Download it. Download Radio Biafra. Download Radio Garden. Download TuneIn Radio. Download Switch Radio. Download Simple Radio. Those who don't want their wives or their husbands to know that they're listening to Radio Biafra, they listen via these apps. Not everybody comes to Facebook because they don't want their name to be seen or their names to be known. So they hide and they listen via these platforms. You can go to IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra app, Radio Garden app, TuneIn Radio app, Sweet Radio, Simple Radio, and we are also on YouTube channel this very night. We are on YouTube channel this very night. I don't know who is responsible for switching that on. They have not done so. They should hurry up and switch on the YouTube channel. We are on satellite as well. In this era of demonstration after demonstration, that those gallant young girls and young boys are doing everybody proud all over the whole world. They need your support. Go and get a strong decoder. You can follow what we are doing live on satellite. And I'm sure that Biafra Television is also screening and showing some of those protests as they unfold. There is FM in Lagos tonight. There is also FM in some parts of Kanu and also in Abuja. People are listening, and as I did promise you, before the next 3 weeks, there will be FM station also in Daura, as I promised them, and it is going to happen. I welcome each and every one of you this evening. Later on, our lines are going to be opened up. I will quickly skim through things. Our topic today is the same thing. We must commend the bravery of the young men and women risking their lives to make the life of every other person better. We must commend them. Our lines will open later on, and before it opens, I will announce it live on air that all of you may be able to know. That all of you may be able to know. Very, very important, please. We know that some of you are even some are sleeping outside tonight. Some are sleeping outside tonight. Some are sleeping outside tonight. I don't know what happened. We were live a short while ago. I don't know what happened on Coach Sochukuchu, but of course we are back there again. Please try and rejoin there if there is a problem. Try and rejoin. You know that Facebook is doing all they can to suppress our posts. They are doing all they can to make life difficult for us. My name is Nnamdi. This is a live presentation this evening as it was this early morning. We are live and we are direct. I am the leader of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, all over this very planet Earth. Banon, the director of Radio Biafra and also Biafra Television. I welcome each and every one of you. I do apologize for having not greeted you first before proceeding, but it is because of the wickedness, the cruelty, the enormity of the absurdity of Facebook that led me to start this program that very way. Because Isochukuchubude is back again, they will try to suppress us, but we must continue. I welcome each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. We are proceeding this very night to preach the gospel of heaven, this gospel that was ordained to be preached by the sons of men on this very earth. As I told you earlier, this very gospel shall set you free, and this very gospel has set our people free. And that freedom is what they are at the very end of getting at this very moment. We have woken up people. We have woken up the young ones. They can now reason properly. Somebody was saying to me, how come you're now calling them brave? I said they are brave because they have listened. When somebody is a failure and they attend your class and they write exams and they pass that exams, you promote them to a new class. What we have done today, what we have recognized today is what we have been preaching for very many years is now bearing fruit in the lives of young men and young women in the damnable zoological republic. I refer to them as Nigerians and not as animals because they no longer behave like animals. Now they are behaving like human beings. And if you behave like a human being, you will be respected like a human being. And given what they have done, what they have come to sustain for a week, I think that they deserve it. They deserve every accolade and they deserve every praise. That is why we do what we do. We are not rigidly welded to our doctrine. You must understand this very clearly. You must have the common sense to understand they are now behaving like proper, decent human beings, and we must acknowledge them as such. We must give them that honor and that due and that respect. Anybody who is participating in this ongoing protest deserve praise, and we must praise them accordingly. And you don't know what happened today in Abuja. They are now rejecting people who will come to them and make money with them. The message we are preaching on this platform is permeating their senses. And now we can say that the reason and the essence of having Radio Biafra has been truly attained, because everywhere they are saying the lectures on this very platform was what propelled them to reason and to do something about their plight. We commend each and every one of them, but we must pray for them this evening. And I'm going to pray in English language so that they can understand. Everybody who is out there protesting, everybody who is sleeping outside, you're a young man, you're a young woman, you are a hero, and we are going to pray for you this very evening to continue this very excellent work you're doing. You don't understand the importance of what you're doing until the end of this very race. You people have embarked upon something that no other generation has been able to do before. Therefore, this very class of 2020 will be marked out indelibly forever and ever as the youth that did something that marveled the whole world. That is why you cannot give up. That is why you cannot stop. Now we are going to pray for each and every one of you. All of you, we are going to pray for you this very evening, regardless of where you are. Oh Lord God Almighty of infinite mercy, this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where your children are, all over this very world, we humbly implore you to look down on your children now engaged in this very protest, in this very battle of will between what is good and evil in the damnable zoological republic. Do not count the sins of all these young people. Do not hold it against them, but grant them, O Heavenly Father, through repentance in the heart, that the lusts of the human heart, money, greed, and avarice may be conquered by your spirit of gentleness and righteousness. Look in mercy on those immediately exposed to the dangers, to the bullets of the police, the bullets of the army, those who are being this evening tortured because of their faith and their belief that good must always prevail over evil. We give them unto your loving, ever-caring hands, O Heavenly Father. Those who have been sent by dogs, those dogs who have been sent by Tinubu in Lagos and Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu, those dogs that he has sent, touch their hearts, O Father in heaven, that they may understand the foolishness of their ways and repent. We hand over those who are in Abuja being attacked, Those who are being attacked in Lagos, we hand them over to your care. You will comfort those who were arrested, those who have been beaten, those who have been tortured. You will relieve the sufferings of the wounded, and you will show mercy unto the dying, because many have been shot dead. Many are walking about with bullet wounds. Some are receiving treatments in hospital. According to your good and gracious will, remove all the veil of ignorance and stupidity in the lives of your children. Make them to rise up as the gallant men and women that they are, to confront this evil and to subdue it. And in the end, you will restore peace amongst the people who are made, who have been put together in that damnable contraption, the zoological republic. Through your mercy, we pray tonight and forevermore. He said, we must worship Elohim, the most high God in heaven, the creator of all that is around us, and that is what we have done. We are proceeding this evening unapologetically. We are proceeding this evening uncompromisingly to preach the gospel of the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. We thank once again everybody who is involved. In the end SARS campaign, before I came on air, there was something we posted on my page. I want to thank Google, and I also want to thank Twitter for what they have done. The Google CEO issued a statement. The CEO also of Twitter issued a statement. We are waiting for Mark Zuckerberg to also issue a statement where we very much doubt if Facebook will actually support this very effort, because they collected money from the zoo and they are working for the murderous regime in the damnable zoological republic. I will advise those who are calling now to please refrain from doing so. We shall do our presentation in our normal way, and then after that we shall open our lines for calls to be taken, and this evening I will take your calls, I can assure you. If you do not, before I came on air also, I stumbled upon this very brilliant and exceptional write-up, which I have been compelled to read out to the hearing of the whole world. Because some people do not know why the protests are going on. Some people do not know why young people are sufficiently aggrieved to risk their lives to come out on the streets to do what we have been asking them to do for very many years. That if you do not rise up and do something, your plight will even worsen. They listened and they came out. We now want to let you understand the reason why people are protesting, the reason why young people are angry in Nigeria, and the reason why things can no longer be the same going forward. And more critically, the reason why they cannot stop now. Because if they stop now, it is over. They are finished. They must understand this. And please listen very attentively and listen very carefully this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. If you do not understand why the youths are risking their lives to protest, here are a few reasons why. The reason why they are protesting is because now they understand how the world works. That if you want something to change, you must take action yourself. Any change that you want to see in your life, the action must start with you first. That is what they have now acknowledged. That is what they have now realized. And that is what they are manifesting on the streets all across Nigeria. I want to tell you why they are protesting, so that the world may bear us witness, that they may understand how angry young people are. That is one for Ifeoma Abuku, a 20-year-old young lady. She just graduated and was in NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps that they have, the 1-year corps that they have to try to unite everybody to make them one Nigeria. She was arrested in her boyfriend's house in local Gama in Abuja. Ifeoma was raped by men of Nigerian police. We want the world to understand the level of atrocity. So when any idiot comes out to say, stop this protest, go back to your homes, this evening we want to remind them as to why these young, aggrieved people are protesting. We want to remind them that they may know. We want to remind Facebook to understand the demon we are fighting. We want people who are working for Facebook to understand the enormity, to understand the wickedness, the murderousness of the Nigerian police. They don't know this. And army, everything holding an AK-47 in the zoo is dangerous for you. Ifeoma Abuku, 20 years of age, abducted from her boyfriend's house. She graduated NYSC student. Sorry, NYSC, whatever they call them, service personnel with NYSC. She was actually serving Nigeria. When the same people that she was serving as an NYSC, a National Youth Service Corps, or COPA, whatever they call it, she was raped to death by the same police. Justice has not prevailed. She died in SARS custody. If Ifeoma was your daughter, how would you feel? I want to ask every senator, every governor who is in support, Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State who went and hired thugs from Mushin to go and disrupt protesters. I want to ask Sanwo-Olu, if your daughter was raped to death by SARS, how would you feel? How would you feel as a father? If your first daughter, Otedola, who is an oil magnate, if any of your daughters that you bought Ferrari for was raped to death by men of SARS, what would you say? Do you understand why people are protesting now? Lawan, the president of the Asu Senate, do you now understand why people are protesting? Those who work for Facebook, busy suppressing posts. I wish that SARS can rape your children to death the same way that Ifeoma was raped to death. So you understand the level of rage and anger in young people. You don't understand it. Because it has never affected you before. The second person is God gift. This is just a snapshot. We have killed thousands and sold their organs to Indians. And you're asking them to leave the streets to come back and do what? To more rapes and more death and more extortion. Is that what you're asking them to leave the streets for? They have started and they must finish it. That is God gift Ferguson, Ekete 24, Tony Oruamam 21, Harry Ataria 26. They were arrested during a raid, killed in detention as they were falsely accusing armed robbers and cultists. The police officers responsible are free roaming the streets. If they are guilty, is it the job of the police to execute them? They were taken and executed in cold blood, their organs harvested and sent to India. For those of you who don't want transplant, I hope you're following. In case you come out tomorrow morning, oh, this is too much, I'm losing my business. People lost their lives at the hands of these savages. People lost their lives at the hands of these SARS. So you don't even understand what the parents are going through. There is Kolade Johnson. Kolade Johnson was killed on the 31st of March of 2019 by a SARS officer for looking like a fraudster. The reason why he was killed is that his appearance looked like a Yahoo boy, like a fraudster. Because of that, he was killed. That he left his home to go and watch Liverpool match versus Tottenham Hotspur and never returned. The officers responsible are still free roaming the streets. No justice whatsoever. None whatsoever. Now I'm asking those who are asking people to stop protesting, what is going to happen to stars that killed, raped and killed Ifeoma, that killed God's gift, the created Rama, Harry, Atalia, killed Kolade Johnson? What is going to happen to them? Now they're joining SWAT. Nothing. So before people are called off the streets, there must be a public inquiry. There will be a public inquiry devised for the whole world to see. DPOs, the commissioners of police, will be called to testify before the whole world why they were killing people's children and their daughters. Most of them are graduates, no jobs. You gave them no jobs. You denied them opportunities to become human beings, and yet you killed them. And you're asking them to come off the streets. We are continuing. There is Chibike Nnamdi. He is 23 years of age. Chibike had his life cut short on the 24th of July 2009 when the Nigerian police raided a guest house in Iguacha that is River State. After several searches at the police station, his family later found out about his death. The police has refused to comment on his death till this very day. And you know the worst thing that can happen to us is to kill us and then to take our bodies away. Because we do not believe that anybody who is dead should be left elsewhere, his soul roaming all over the place. He must be interred and put into the ground. We don't cremate, we bury people in the ground. As Chukwukika, my God Almighty in heaven, instructed our ancestors. You must understand what is happening. You must understand the anger, the level of anger that people have in them. That anger is now boiling over onto the streets. Imagine if you're the father or the mother of Chibike and I'm only 23 years of age. Killed for no reason. That is Tina, a girl again, 16 years old, Tina. On the 26th of May 2020, she was hit by a stray bullet when a drunken police officer opened fire to disperse a crowd that had gathered after he shot a bus driver. He shot this policeman. After he shot a bus driver, he shot this policeman. After he shot a bus driver, he shot this policeman. He was not content after shooting the bus driver. People gathered to ask what was happening. Tina Ezekwe, 16 years old, was killed on the spot. No investigation, nothing. Justice was never served. Despite all the online campaign, despite every effort to bring the police officers to account, nothing happened. People campaigned on social media. After that, they wrote rest in peace. Everything is supposed to be working. It has come back again. Everything is supposed to be working. But the attack is relentless. The attack is ongoing. But we must continue. We have managed, so to speak, to re-establish contact. We have managed to re-establish contact, and we are doing all we can this evening to continue this very broadcast. Of course, there will be a repeat broadcast. There will be a repeat broadcast. There will be a repeat broadcast. I need to be told, I need to be given the information as to what is happening. People should not become unduly perturbed or alarmed. Of course, there was a slight break. But we are back on again. Somebody's writing to me from Lagos saying there was a break. Of course, I can see it here on the systems. But it has been recovered. It has been retrieved. And people can confirm that we are back live again. We must be resilient. People are protesting out on the streets. If you're listening to our broadcast this very evening, they are not going to allow us to have a smooth sailing. They are going to do all they can to interrupt and to disrupt our programming. But we must continue. Regardless, we are continuing. And this program is being captured. And it is being captured. After this very broadcast, it will be distributed and disseminated very widely so that everybody can listen to it. I was talking about Tina Ezekwe, 16-year-old, shot to death. Christian Onibu, 28, a father of one, shot to death on the 19th of March 2009 while parking his car in Jiwa in Abuja. He was then taken to the police station where he spent a night with his bullet wounds. He was later transferred to a hospital that could not treat him since he had no police report, despite the fact that it was the police themselves that shot him. Very, very bizarre indeed. He died on the 21st of March. Ayomide Taiwo, only 20 years of age. On the 9th of August 2020, this very year, he was returning back home after the Eid-el-Kabir celebrations in Osun State with his friend when their motorcycle was stopped by a drunken SARS officer. After paying the bribe they demanded, the police officer saw that he had more money and then they attacked him. He was in coma for 6 days before he lost his battle for life. Okay, how about Aneke Okorie? He was 39 years of age. a father of 4. He was making an honest living for himself. He was an Okada rider. On the 15th of May 2009, he was stopped at the checkpoint in Enugu, unable to pay the bribe. He was shot dead there and then. His murderers tried to frame him in. This was a man that was shot dead in the afternoon. They claimed that he was an armed robber. Very, very sad indeed. Nobody has been tried for his murder. How about Diamiu Kasim, 21-year-old, a promising footballer in Remo Stars on the 24th of he was stopped by SARS officials and forcefully tried to take him into custody. He fell out of the SARS vehicle and was run over by a motor car that was coming behind. This is the protest where 5 more people were killed. That is what they used to do. People are wondering, why are young people pouring out onto the streets? Because before, if you protest in an isolated fashion or manner, they will kill those of you there. So the best thing to do is spontaneous uprising of anger and rage. And that is what the whole world is witnessing right now. And that is why they must remain on the streets. For somebody like Thomas Mabu Ni, 20 years of age, they killed him in November 2011. He was hit by a stray bullet while taking his bath at home. He was in his home. People would have thought that being at home would have been the safest place. He was at home having his shower. A police bullet came from nowhere and struck him and he died. His family then later on went to deposit his body at the mortuary. They were not even allowed to retrieve his body because they complained to the police and said, he shot our boy and we took him away. Where is his body? They couldn't even show the parents. That is Nigeria for you. One Nigeria for you. That is what they do to your children, if you don't know. How about Peter Chibozo? He was a Uniport student, University of Iguacha, University of Port Harcourt, they call it. He was killed on the 11th of April 2016 during a students' protest organized to oppose the increase in school fees. The same politicians today who are asking you to leave the streets. When you protested against the increase of your fees, they asked people to go and kill you. Chibozo was killed. He was killed. He was reading management sciences at the time of his death. His killers are nowhere to be found. How about Daniel Ikaguchi? He was only 20 years of age, and his friends were waiting for him outside the hotel for a taxi in Iguacha. When he saw a SARS officer and ran away in fear of being arrested or extorted, the officers accused him of being a criminal and an armed robber. And his friend was unpacking his bag for searching, because when they arrest you, they say, we need to search your bags. They were searching his bags, and in the process, they shot Daniel. They were then arrested, and Daniel was given no medical attention. When his family heard about it, it was too late. He was already dead. How about Linda? They don't even discriminate if you're a boy, if you're a girl. That is why every boy, every girl must be out on the streets protesting. This one is Linda Igwetu. Linda died. They killed her on July the 4th of 2018. She just finished her youth service in Abuja. They hate young people. You know this Janjaweed. They are full and these are terrorists. They hate you. Once they see that you're a graduate, you're from the south, and you're doing a bit well, you're gone. They will kill you. Killed by a SARS officer. The name of the SARS officer that killed Linda Igwetu is Benjamin Peters. Linda was on her way home with her friends. When they rushed her to hospital, the doctors refused to treat her without a police report. A little girl that the parents scraped and suffered and put through university. She died. How about Chukwemeka Matthew Onovo, 22 years of age, left his house on the 4th of July 2008. There was a shootout nearby and Chukwemeka was hit by a stray bullet as usual. When the man to know where his son was, the police told his father that he was a robber. When eyewitnesses repeated it, the officer responsible was not brought to justice. That was how it ended. It is not just there. How about Musa Samani, a graduate of computer sciences, on December the 1st, 2019, was killed over a minor misunderstanding in Kanu State. His killer has not been brought to justice. So before you call the youths of Nigeria that they are very lazy, widows, or any other name that you may wish to call them, of course, apart from zoo animals, any of these people that they killed, Are you telling me that they deserve to be shot to death? That is why SARS must end. That is why SARS must end. They must go today. That is why there will be no SWAT. That is why there has to be a root and branch reformation. That is why there has to be a public hearing that the world may know that the zoo is no longer workable. This is a drive to educate the people. This is an effort to enlighten the people, to make them understand why young people are out on the streets and campaigning very on the streets and campaigning very.
Another Savior, holy, 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 another Savior, holy, 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 holy,
Special dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPO families all over the world. Remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out.
And we are preaching the gospel of heaven that Chukwokika was to preach. That is what we are preaching. We are please trying to reconnect all our systems. We are trying to reconnect them. We are trying to reconnect them. You must try and bear with us. We are trying to connect our systems. Please try and bear with us. Try with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. If they kick you out from one platform, you go to the other. At the end of this very program, we are going to make this very broadcast available for the whole world to know, for the whole world to see, for mankind to appreciate the enormity of the problems afflicting the damnable zoological republic. And the Senate is now asking people to leave the streets, that they must abandon the streets, that they must abandon this very effort to cleanse a very corrupt system. This once I wouldn't even call it in a lifetime or in a generation, once in the history of a people. This is the only time that they have to register their anger. This is the only time they have to say how upset they are about all the goings on in the zoo. The president of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, on Thursday, advised the anti-SARS protesters. He advised them to end the agitations on the streets. He said it will enable President Major General Muhammadu Buhari, who is in a grave in Saudi Arabia, to work on the implementation of their 5-point agenda. Is that how it works? I want to ask Ahmad Lawan, is that how it works? When people risk their lives, you have killed so many people, they come out on the streets. You begin the implementation of those 5-point plan before they go back. That is how it is done everywhere in the whole world. When people are protesting against injustice and they are out on the streets, you need to pacify them. You need to meet all their demands before they go back home. It happened in Mali. Today they said somebody is briefing Asharok over what is happening in Mali. The Malians came out on the streets of their capital and said enough is enough, until the corrupt regime, the corrupt Janjaweed, the Fulani regime was overthrown. That is a fact of life. Now, Lawan, who has not lost the son or the daughter to SARS are even the ones protecting him. He's asking to SARS are even the ones protecting him. He's asking Fulani regime was overthrown. That is the fact of life. Now, Lawan, who has not lost the son or the daughter to SARS, SARS are even the ones protecting him. He's asking the streets, leave the streets to go to where I ask, so that the killings will continue. Did you not hear what I just read out now? Every killing after killing. Oh, go home, don't worry, we'll investigate. Go home, don't worry, we are going to investigate, and nothing ever comes of it. Nothing at all comes of it. Nothing whatsoever. You are now asking them to go home. He is the president of their Senate. He is asking them to go home, to allow a dead man listening. That is the reason why they keep the only radio station. The only radio station. A public hearing that the world may know that the zoo is no. The only radio station. Understand why young people are out on the streets and campaigning very vociferously for the end. Preaching the gospel of heaven, that is the reason why they keep the only radio. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us? The answer is no. This evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to stop us? The answer is no. We are this evening, we are not leaving. We are continuing to preach this very gospel. We are preaching it as I told you before. Try and bear with us. Yes, we are back on again, and we are good to go once again. Are they going to be able to stop us?
Special dedication to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian BIAFRA War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War. In the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight. And they were singing out, Holy, 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 He's another Savior. They were singing out, Holy, 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 He's another Savior. Holy, 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 He's another Savior.
We are going to finish it. We are going to in despair. We are going to broadcast until we come to the end of our program today. We are not going anywhere. That is one thing our enemies must understand, that we are not going anywhere. As I was saying before, the rude interruption from the forces of darkness and iniquity, I want to make it abundantly clear that we are back. We're not going anywhere. Give to him now. We're not going. We are back. Of course, we are back. This night I'll preach the gospel. I was telling them for very many years, and now that young men and women have risen up, the world must hear their cry. Humanity must respond to their yearnings, and all the demands that they have made must be acceded to. That is where we are. Because the president of the Senate of the Zoo, Ahmad Lawan, with all due respect, you know nothing about what people are suffering. You have no clue, you have no idea. Your interest is to sustain one Nigeria so you can be Senate president. You can be voting yourselves large sums of money every blessed year for doing absolutely nothing. These young people do not have any employment. They scrape and their parents suffer. They put them through school. They graduate. But there are no jobs. And to add insult to injury, you send your SARS to kill them. You have not done anything. You're asking them to go back home. Then you look into it. I want people to understand that is not how a revolution works. When people start to agitate en masse for something of this magnitude, you stay where you are until they implement all those things. Until they implement them. He stated that to expedite action on the reform for peace to reign, you don't beg anybody. I saw somebody tweeting earlier today or responding to a tweet. You don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. Don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. Don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. children, but they are children. You treat them like your children, but they are your children. You don't beg anybody. I saw somebody tweeting earlier today or responding to a tweet. You don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. That is why there has to be a public hearing that the world may know that this is no. They're going to be able to stop us. The answer is until they he stated that to expedite action on the reform for peace to reign, you don't beg anybody. I saw somebody tweeting earlier today or responding to a tweet. You don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. Our enemies are not resting, but we are preaching this gospel all the same. We are doing all we can. This is amazing, isn't it? This is amazing. Every 10 minutes they try to cut us off. He stated that to expedite action on the reform for peace to reign, you don't beg anybody. I saw somebody tweeting earlier today or responding to a tweet. You don't beg them. Somebody said they treat them like your children, but they are your children. Don't beg them. Somebody said we must preach this very gospel. We are back once again. We are back on all our platforms. We are back and we are preaching the gospel of the Most High. As I was saying earlier, before the crude interruption once again this evening, we want to prove to them that we have a never say die attitude. Our attitude is never say die. This evening I am going to preach this very gospel that I have been mandated to preach, and nothing is going to stop it. Even if it means having no calls this evening, so be it. But I must preach this very gospel. It must be preached, and humanity must hear us. They must hear us. There is nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing. We must preach this very gospel. And I will proceed. As I was saying, Ahmad Lawan is the president of the Zoo Senate. They are asking people to leave the streets. How can they leave the streets when there is no resolution of the issue? And I must tell those who are protesting, the brave men and women who are out on the streets, risking their lives, those who are in hospitals, remember, if you lose this opportunity, it will never come again. This is your only chance to catalog and to tabulate all your grievances and your demands. If you abandon this very effort, anybody coming out tomorrow, they will say no, that they are not serious, that we can buy them out, we can outstay them, so to speak. They will employ the same tactics of getting their thugs, getting their Senate president, talking rubbish all the time, and you go back home. If you abandon the streets now, you are finished. You are never, ever, ever going to be able to survive again. All our platforms should be working. The person responsible for YouTube should please try and switch it back on again. Try and switch it back on again. We are live and we are continuing this evening. They think they will do this and then will abandon what we are doing. They are mad. We are going to preach this very gospel this very evening. And the whole world must understand. Facebook can remove as many people as they like. I have told you, if they remove you, you go to IPOB community radio. Anytime they remove you, you go to IPOB community radio, go to Radio Biafra, go to Tuning, go to Simple Radio, go to Sweet, and also go to Radio Garden. In all these places, you will be able to participate. They are now saying that everywhere is more stable now. We thought we are going to fix it, and we have done so, and we're going to preach this very gospel. So do not leave the streets. Once you abandon the streets, you are finished. You are gone. You can no longer reclaim the initiative. And the zoo will come in many ways. They will beg you to abandon this very effort. Once you say no, they will threaten you. You will say no, they will try to impose restrictions and measures on you. Once you still say no, you are not going to give in, you are not going to capitulate, you are not going to cave in, you me. Their last resort is to call the army. But I can tell you from the messages I've been receiving from service personnel in the Nigerian army today, when they leave their backs, no soldier from the middle belt, none from the south, will fire at the protesters. I just got the confirmation this very evening from a very high-ranking officer. They told me that they are following everything that is happening and they are listening to Radio Biafra. That if they are asked to go out on the streets to kill the protesters, that they will not do it. That was the confirmation that I got this very evening before coming on air. So be rest assured that nothing is going to happen. And as I have told them, if the army comes out, then IPOB will also come out to make sure that those who are protesting are defended. Those who are protesting, they must be defended. They must be defended. And we are going to do so. Therefore, this protest will continue unabated until the results begin to trickle in. Rather than asking them or saying, we are going to ban you, you should try and accede to their demands. It's as simple as that. This evening, I'm bringing you news that the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja has banned protests. They have banned protests, yes, because it is not favoring them. You see the way they behave, the Janjaweed. Abuja is baggy land. People in Abuja are living this very evening. It is a baggy land. It doesn't belong to Fulani. It doesn't belong to the Janjaweed. They must rise up now. I'm not even talking about the end SARS protesters. People must rise up now and tell those in Federal Capital Territory that it is the baggy people, that the baggy nation that owns Abuja and not Fulani Janjaweed. Now is the time to do it. All of you who are in Abuja, who have been claiming marginalization for very many years, go out now on the streets and support those who are fighting for you, those brave men and women who are on the streets fighting. Go and support them. You must go to support them. Very, very important. Very, very critical. Very, very critical. You must do that. The Federal Capital Territory Security Committee has banned the SARS. Who are you? You, on one hand, you're claiming that to protest is a constitutionally guaranteed right. On the other hand, you're banning it. For you to ban protest, you must go to court. The court of law must interpret it. You don't have the power to just rise up because what they are doing has been enshrined in law. It is a law. It is a lawful undertaking. It is a lawful undertaking. If you want to ban it, that is the thing about foreign, they don't understand the law. They have no idea what the law or the purpose a law is supposed to serve. You just rise up in the morning. We have resolved after meeting, ban it. They want to intimidate you. This is the second phase of their attack. They will attack you 4 times. Strong. After the 4th attack, you have won. They will call your mother, they will call your father, they will call everybody, bring them back home. They will go and pay people like Issa Sage, that idiot, that APC idiot. You will see them, they will even buy over some news editors, some journalists. That is how black people behave. They will buy them over and say to them, why don't you come back home and let's listen together. The same old garbage. That is why you are unemployed. That is why your parents suffered and sent you to school. You graduated and there is no job. Let us listen together and nothing is coming out of Now is the time to bring about that change you have been yearning for as a child. Every day you complain, oh, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad. Now is the time to go on the streets. If you cannot go out, bring out food, bring out puff-puff, bring out bread. Support people who are protesting. Support those young people. They are the key to your future. These are the things they must understand. People, we are getting a report that protesters are being taken in places like Obomo Show, and they were packed into a police van and taken to an unknown destination. And people must stop the arrest of their fellow protesters. That is how it is done. You don't allow them to arrest anybody. Don't allow them to. Because if you do, you're finished. What they will keep doing is keep trying your resolve. Every blessed day, they will keep trying your resolve. But you must say no. You must say no. They want to hurt you the same way they hurt cattle. You know when a bookie comes and he's hitting the cattle, she's hitting the cattle with stick. Cattle will go here, cattle will go. They think you're a cattle. They think they can hurt you towards any direction of their choice. The people in Abuja saying that they are banning it, people should go and blockade their offices. Blockade their office, they cannot get in. That is how you conduct yourself in a revolution. That is how it is going to be done. If you leave it and go away, in the next 5,000 years, nothing will happen in the zoo. The Fulani would have won. They will introduce their Ruga. They will introduce their highway for cattle. Every nonsense, they will pass it and you cannot do anything about it. Now is the time to stand very strong and very firm to say enough is enough. We have had enough. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. If you do it now, believe you me, it's all over. It is all over. Everything you want in your life will come to fruition. This evening we are live and we are direct and we are preaching this very gospel that we have been mandated by heaven to preach. They are ending, they want the SARS campaign to end, but they are opening NYAC camps. After going to your NYAC, you come out and they will kill you. They are opening NYAC camps. That is what they are doing. But you claim that because of COVID-19, that people should not come out to protest. Who told you that? George Lloyd was killed at the height of COVID-19. People came out to protest. Americans are still there. The USA is still there till tomorrow morning. It hasn't collapsed. It hasn't fallen. Talk less of COVID-19 that is afraid of black people in Africa. Who told you that? This is Fulani Janjaweed. They have ganged up. They have called everybody. Governor Kowa. They have called their governor, their friends, in the hope of keeping Nigeria together. Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State. They unleashed their talks. It did not work. Now let us ban them in Abuja and see if it is going to work. These are the same politicians that some of you idiotically will be following left, right, and center and campaigning for. These are the people you campaign for. You put them in power. Look at all those governors you voted for. Look at them with the exception of Wike and one or two other governors that came out very well. Not the chameleon, Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. He is a chameleon, an APC chameleon. His father, his godfather, Tinubu came out and told him, oh, why don't you do something? I want to contest for presidency. Because of Tinubu's presidency, people must die. They went and brought talks for Mushi. These are your politicians that you're hailing. That is the reason why before now I kept castigating black people. But because of what the young people are now doing in this zoo, I'm going to be very lenient with them to see where they will end up because I want them to succeed. We want their lives to be better. I want them to have a brighter future, a brighter tomorrow, not just for themselves, but for their children, even those unborn. Look at your so-called politicians. Look at them and see what they're doing. And you will be thoroughly ashamed of the Zoological Republic. You are opening you're opening youth service camps. Because what you want to do is that they are reasoning, so some of them are graduates, and they are maybe first batch, second batch, third batch. Why don't we open NYSC? The same monetary inducement. Because of that allowance, you will be receiving your allowance of 20,000 naira. They want you to think about, you see how wicked they are. They want you to think about only 20,000 naira, and because of that, abandon your civic God-given responsibility to save yourself from doom. The same money. They will come with money. They will come with soft threat. They will come with intimidation. They will unleash police. Finally, the army will come. Once the army comes and we stand and we defeat them, it is over. Final. Chicken now, infinito, it is gone. Life will no longer be the same again in Nigeria. It is changed forever and ever. So be prepared for it. They are going to come. You must remain resolute. You must remain determined because they are going to come. They will come. That is who they are. You're ending protests in Abuja because of COVID-19. But meanwhile, you're opening NYSC camp in the same Abuja. So those who are protesting can now go to NYSC and say they're serving their land, their motherland, their fatherland. They salute the green, white, green flag. The same green, white, green flag that killed their brother, their cousin, their friend, their nephew. You want them to go and serve under the same flag. Fulani, they think they're smart. But we are smarter than they are. If COVID-19 is a problem, then do not open orientation camps. They are now saying orientation camps to reopen on November 10, federal government. What are you in a dictatorship? What sort of nonsense is this? Every blessed day they wake up and make an announcement. There is no due process, there is no legal precedent, nothing. Because you are under the spell of Janjaweedism. And we are curing you of that illness. That disease, we are curing you of that. Because the zoo, if you allow it to stand, you will die. You will fall. It's either the zoo falls or you fall. You must understand that. Then, instead of them to say, oh, let us try and listen to their demands. Let us try and see what these young people are saying, if there is merit. Of course there is merit in it. If there is no merit in it, because when somebody does good, I praise them. You do bad and you get the treatment from us. Today, I must say that after our morning broadcast today, Obiano came out and did something that I personally never expected him to do. This is how politicians behave or should behave. You react to the people. But now that I'm going to say something nice about him today, maybe tomorrow now he will be worse than he was before. Because after our program this very morning and after extensive commentary and trailing of that very James Wafo, the evil SARS in Okosu, Obiano today sacked James Wafo as his personal security, his senior special aide on security. And he said he is going to grant the demands of the Anambra youths that stormed government house. I hope the demand doesn't mean calling one or two people by them money. That is what they always do. The nationwide protest against police brutality today claimed its major victim when the governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, sacked former commanding officer of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS in Okosu, CSP James Wafo. He's now retired. Who has been repeatedly mentioned in the media for his high-handedness against suspects in custody and unspeakable violations of human rights. Obiano went further to say that this same Wafo is going to face the law. I never believed in my life that will come on air to say that Obiano has done something nice. But that's what I'm doing tonight. That this is how people who have been elected into offices should be behaving. Not in a patronizing way, but to look at the cold, hard facts and take decisions. The evidence against James Wafo is overwhelming. He also announced the setting up a special panel headed by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to document all human rights violations and abuses by SARS with a view to getting justice for the victims and bringing closure to old injuries. This is how a politician is supposed to talk in any civilized society. I can't believe I'm saying this about Obiano, but we will leave him to continue because SARS was responsible for Mpo massacre as well. So we are waiting. It's not just to make this promise. We want this very panel to be set up within 14 days. Within 14 days. He has an opportunity now to remedy all the wrongs that he has done. He must set up this very panel of inquiry within 14 days. We asked Ugwani in Enugu to set up an inquiry. That hasn't happened till this very day. He must set up one immediately. You're talking about SARS, the same SARS that went to Emene and shot people dead. There has to be an inquiry in Enugu. So those in Enugu must continue protesting. You must continue to come out to protest until a panel of inquiry is set up. The same way that Anambra is trying to do. And all those who are in Lagos, in Abuja, all the major cities who are protesting, you must continue. There must be a commission of inquiry set up in Abuja. All the major TV networks will be there to broadcast this live so that the world can see what people have been suffering and seeing for very many decades. There must be an open trial of everybody involved in extrajudicial killings and in high-handed abuse of power and, of course, trampling on your human rights. That is the only way to cure the problem. Imagine if people in Anambra sat at home today. Do you think Obiano would have said this? No. People went out en masse and besieged government house. He came out and he spoke the same way that Wike spoke the other day. Although that there are still some IPOB family members illegally detained in Iguacha, in River State. And I'm asking the River State, what they call the Prosecutor General in River State, to do the needful and follow an example. SARS Okoso has been closed. We need an audit. How many people did you kill inside the SARS Okoso? How many people died there? Who appointed James Nwafo? Who oversaw James Nwafo? Who was in power in Anambra State when James Nwafo was slaughtering innocent people? Are they the same people that are now asking us to vote for them to become president? When they were there, Nwafo was slaughtering innocent people and they did nothing. So this is a step in the right direction. If you do good, of course, we are going to praise you. If you do bad, of course, we shred you. That is the way we are. Obiano has done very well. But he should move ahead and establish this judicial panel within 14 days to look into the activities of SARS. Of course, his statement was well measured, but we are going to hold him to it. You just don't come out and say these things and think people will forget. These are just one words. No, we are going to hold him accountable. The family of victims must come out before the whole world to narrate to the hearing of the public what these evil people did, like James Nwafo with the bodies of those that they killed. It's not just that they killed them. What did you do with the bodies of the people that you killed? It's an abomination in our land to kill anybody and take the body away without giving them proper burial. Where are their bones? The family they are asking SARS all across Nigeria, where are the dead bodies of our children? For goodness sake, they're asking you we are banning protests. Who are you, Fulani Janjaweed in Abuja, to ban protests? Others may have indulged you. These are young people who are very angry and highly upset. They are not going to listen to you. Bring out that army. That thing you want, you will see it. That soup will fall before your eyes. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Obiano should set this thing up as quickly as possible. Let this not be the usual warm words that they offer anytime they are under siege. The same goes for all SARS operations across Nigeria. When will this audit? Some people say, "Oh, go back home." The government said they are going. Can you imagine they are going to? You know, when we are very young, there is a saying, when we are young adults in those days, you know, I will say it in Igbo language so people can translate. That's what they used to say where we come from. When you are talking to a girl and she will say, that day you buy Fanta, you buy biscuit, Malta biscuit, you buy Fanta, you buy Coke, Malta biscuit and chewing gum. And she say, oh, leave me, I'm going, I will come back next week. You know it's over, it's not going to happen. This something is going to happen here. When they promise you, when politicians promise you, oh, don't worry, we will. It's not going to happen anymore. We don't believe in we will. There is nothing like we will. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing like we will. What is happening is that you must do to convince the people, because they've been waiting. They've been killing and killing and killing. Oh, we will investigate. The Senate is sitting. There will be a report. There will be process. There will always will. Imagine a politician promising you something. It's like a lady in those days telling you, I'm going to come back next week. She's not coming back anything. Your transport fare is gone. You must understand these things. That is the way it works. That is the way it works. As somebody have said, Facebook must also ban themselves for anti-community whatever garbage, community rules. They should ban themselves as well. And SARS, end all the detention centers. You are asking people to leave the streets. Have you audited all the detention centers to make sure there are no SARS facilities available? The answer is no. When will the auditing of SARS detention facilities take place? Without undertaking the most vital thing that the protesters must demand is an audit of every SARS detention facility. How many people did they kill? Where are their dead bodies? Before you even talk about people living in the streets. You cannot get to the bottom of all these issues until what happened to these people are ascertained. This is the last chance to rescue what is left of their future. This is the very last chance to rescue what is left of the future of our children. And you're asking them to go in. And how the tables have turned. When Sanwo-Olu addressed the protesters the other day, I thought he was a very sensible man, a very reasonable man. But when the Fulani Janjaweed summoned him to come to Abuja for them to strategize, I knew that there was something wrong. Sanwo-Olu is now busy. Sanwo-Olu is the governor of Lagos State. The same idiot talking about democracy, talking rubbish all the time. These are the people that want their master Tinubu to go and become president. If you're behaving like this against protesters, how look at the way that Obi are not behaved. If you're behaving this way, is this how you want the president of Nigeria? Is this it? I don't know what is wrong with these people. Sanwo-Olu, from speaking like a human being, he went to Mushi and rented thugs. He went to Mushi and rented thugs. These are Bola Ahmed Tinubu's thugs in Mushi. This is the man that wants to be the president of Nigeria. This was the same man that called for a revolution during his Nadeko days. Tinubu, have you forgotten? You were in Nadeko. You were calling for revolution in Nigeria. As a Nadeko chieftain, you went on exile. Tinubu, you went on exile because you called for a revolution. Now people are rising up to say that the killing of their children, of their siblings, of their brothers, their sisters is not good, and you're unleashing thugs on them. Shame on all of you. You are unleashing thugs on them. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. Very, very sad indeed. Shame on each and every one of you who are supporting this evil. Thugs. These are young people. So they will say there is a clash between the two groups. And because of that, police move in, army move in, shoot everybody. That's what they want to do. And I trust you people in Lagos. Anytime, I don't even want to talk about the Akpo 6. I don't want to talk about it. That one is, we'll get, let us get one for first. In handcuffs, answering questions in a court of law. Then we go to Akpo 6. We'll come to that later. When Akpo 6 happened, had what is happening now with the youth happened then, all the years of SARS killing wouldn't have happened. But they killed the Igbo people 6 in Abuja. Everybody went quiet. Everybody went quiet. They took their money as usual. They bribed those that they can bribe. Money exchanged hands, and nothing came of it. And that gave SARS the impetus to go on killing. If you want to know about the industrial scale killings of SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad, it started after the Akpo 6. They saw that nothing happened. The same way that the Buhari died, buried in Saudi Arabia, they brought somebody, put mask on his face. Before it was Jubril al-Sudani. After Jubril left, ran away from Cuba, they now brought Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar. And you kept quiet. They realized how stupid people were. They said, okay, so you people are this foolish. You don't know anything. You are blind. You cannot see. They have now gone from impunity to impunity with greater degree of consistency. Because you did nothing. When they killed Akpo 6, everybody kept quiet. Because they're Igbo people. The Yorubas didn't know it was coming to them. Some people from the north never knew it was coming to them. It has now affected everybody. You are now shouting thing that happened to Jubu, the same thing that IPOB was talking about. When we are saying all these things, when we say things and we discuss them and we say them, you must take it seriously at that time. If you had risen up when those Igbo people were killed, young people in Abuja were killed and robbed by Nigerian police, if you had risen up, there would be no way, there is no way that SARS could have done what they did. But you all kept quiet. That is how life is. That is how life is. You must understand it very, very clearly. So they must remain on the streets, please. Very, very important until we get to the bottom of all these issues. Because not only that, people are saying, even as the protest is going on, SARS is still killing people. And you want them to stop. I can't understand. I can't understand the mentality of some black people. I don't understand it. People are now telling them, you must expose all those policemen who are killing protesters. Who are killing protesters, you must expose them. According to the governors of the 36 states of the Federation, they have warned the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, against shielding erring policemen who killed protesters across the country from persecution. Whereas this news was breaking, they were also telling you that northern governors are against the closure or the disbandment of SARS. That is how they are confused. Anybody can be bought over at any time. That is why, and there's a news I read here, very, very funny, very, very interesting. They said a known person went to Abuja to address the protesters, and the protesters drove him away. The protesters, they drove him away. They now understand that people want to hijack what is happening. They want to make name with it, to say they are part of it, to go and cut a deal, and plan to run as a president or God knows what the next minute. No. People are now sensible. Do you see the work that Radio Biafra has accomplished? Oh, what have you achieved? What have you done? Have you now seen it? People are now saying no. People's eyes are now open. People are now listening with their brains. Can't you say the work we have done? Or should I say the work that Elohim Chukwu-Kikabiama has done through IPOB? Can you see that people are now listening like IPOB? They may not be IPOB, but they're now listening the same way that we do. That was why I call them brave and gallant. They are now reasonable. They are no longer animals. They have now graduated into being human beings. But we are praying that they don't get dragged back into the animal kingdom. That they will remain with the living. That they will remain with reasonable human beings. They have been warned. You are not going to shield all those responsible for the killing of protesters. Anybody asking protesters to stop, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. It cannot stop until you meet their demands. Because in the past, after Article 6, there will be an inquiry. Something will be done. Today, no officer is in prison. All the officers that killed all those young people, they are free, moving about. Every time there is killing, don't worry. There will, always will, W-I-L-L. There will be inquiry. There will be this. There will be that. Nothing happens. Now you're asking them to go home. There will be, another there will be. No, they will remain on the streets. Go and do that thing first. Money for hand, back for ground. Go and do that thing first. Before they leave the streets. That is the way it is done. And that is the way it is going to be done in this very case. We are live and we are direct. In case you're joining us for the very first time, somebody says, Obiano remains the best governor. You are a complete idiot. You are a complete fool. That is the thing about black people. You lack spirit of distillation to distill. We said this is the only time he has behaved like a governor. Now he's the best governor. Idiots everywhere. Fools everywhere. That was why Wafa was there for very many years killing you. Because you don't know that you must hold politicians to account. It doesn't mean you hate them. You must hold them to account. You buffoon. You buffoon, because of what I have said. All of a sudden, he's the best governor. You shouldn't be listening to this very broadcast. Some idiots should not be listening to this very broadcast, I'm telling you. Some of you are dumb. Because did Sanwo-Olu not come out a few days ago to address protesters? He went back and used BRT buses, Lagos state government buses, to convey talks to go and attack protesters because his interest or the interest of his master being threatened. Fools in this huge. You don't hold anything in perspective. In perspective, hold it in perspective. You cannot. It's either something is white or it is black. There is no gray area. You don't understand it. That was why Revolution Now was launched. Nobody came outside because they didn't understand the meaning of the word revolution and what they wanted. Is now there is a single issue of end police brutality. They can come out, they can relate to it. But I'm very glad that now they are beginning to reason very well. They are beginning to reason very well. They say protesters chased away Showore. In Abuja, they say he should support them on Twitter first. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me, but all will work out well in the end. All will work out well in the end. I like what I read also about the governor of Kwara State. If what I'm reading is correct, then things are turning in the right direction. And if they had abandoned their positions and gone back home, I am not sure that what happened in Anambra State today with Obiano would have happened. I'm not even sure that what I'm about to read out to you, that they say happened in Kwara State would have happened either. Because from what I can see here, they are saying that the governor of Kwara State led protesters himself to police headquarters. I'm asking those that said, oh, go home. Our demand, you met billionaires and you have been given some money. Oh, please go home. Oh, please go home. We have achieved our aim. If they had gone home yesterday, would Obiano have announced today that Nwafo will be put on trial, that Okoso SARS will be investigated? That is why consistency is good. Consistency is a very good thing. That is why imagine if we had closed down many years ago. Oh, every time you talk on the radio, this idiot has been going to the same useless church from day one as a child. Till today, he has not seen Jesus. Till today, he has not seen heaven. And he has no job at all. Do you see that now that we manage to sustain this momentum, that people's reasoning are now changing for the better? They now understand that we don't hate anybody. We don't despise anybody. Some of you may be shocked. There are some Fulani people that I have nothing against. It's the Janjaweed ruling Tabao, the demons that you have in Fulani land that I'm against. People don't understand it. I remember a few years ago, oh, you hate Yoruba. I said, because you're very foolish, you don't understand. Nobody hates anybody. We need you to change. When we started this very project, they said he was rude, he's insulting Igbo people. I started with our own people. I started with the Igbos first, until they said to reason like human beings. Not that it is not that all we did was to awaken what they had inside them already. Because an average Biafran can reason. That is one thing that is natural. You heard the brother I spoke in the morning. He said it's from Urobo. And I asked him live on air, if the time comes for referendum, where are you going to go? He said he's going to go for Biafra. Although he's not IPOB. He knows that his future lies with Biafra. Do you see how our people reason? That is one thing I love about Biafra. People don't understand the uniqueness of being a Biafran. And that thing that we have as Biafrans, today we have impacted it into the brain and into the minds of other people. They are now reasoning like us. They now understand that sometimes in life that one thing must kill a man. That is why they are out on the streets and they are protesting, and they need our love, they need our support. They need our support and was given to them. And I am hearing, or I read that the Kwara governor led the protesters to police headquarters. That is also going to happen with the army and the police. You watch and see what is going to happen. Once people remain consistent, the army, they are human beings like you. They will turn and join the masses. We want the army to understand that Fulani has a trick up their sleeve. We know what they are going to do. We know what they are going to do. They will try to divide the army along Fulani. They will say our constitutional mandate is to defend Buhari. No, it is to defend the constitution of the country. That is one thing this Janjaweed, they go to school to learn nothing. They learn nothing. Your loyalty is to the constitution, not to a single person. That these are the things that they must understand. I want to let every army officer, every police officer, every recruit to understand this. You swore to uphold the constitution of Nigeria, albeit a very badly written document. That was what you swore to uphold, not to uphold the regime of a dead Buhari. No. Because Buhari will go. All those ruling in his name will disappear. As I said, once you can see what the youths are doing, once Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar goes outside, we'll risk our lives. Somebody is going to die, but we'll get to his mask and we'll pull it off his face. And that day you will see what happened to Nigeria all over the world. Then you will understand. Then you will understand. We are live and we are direct this very evening. I commend the Kwara State Governor as well. I commend the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Razak. I commend him as well for leading the protesters to police headquarters. That is that is the meaning of democracy. That is how we're supposed to work. You must always hold your elected leaders to account, always. You don't fall in love with them. You don't. You hold them to account for them to do the right thing. That was why you voted for them. Not to love them or to be talking nonsense, to be talking absolute garbage. Everywhere that you go to, you must be very, very consistent, please. Very, very consistent. Absolutely consistent. By their fruits you shall know them. By their fruits you shall know them. Because the former U.S. ambassador to the zoo, Ambassador Campbell, he wrote an epistle. And I love it. He's a very principled, upright man. He is a very strong man, but why he loves the zoo so much, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you what he wrote. The former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria wrote an opinion article posted on the Council on Foreign Relations blog. What did he say? He said that the End SARS protest is exceptional because it is breaching the usual ethnic and religious boundaries in the zoo, Nigeria. It is breaching it. Because SARS killed almost everybody from everywhere. They didn't discriminate. Once they see you with iPhone, you're gone. Once your iPhone is flashing in their brain, iPhone, they don't even ask you where you come from. They kill you off immediately. And are you telling me that because somebody is from Kwara State, they are from Niger State, they are from Nasarawa, and they are coming out on the streets and they're doing the right thing, I shouldn't praise them? Because they're not Biafrans? That is how idiotic black people reason. I don't reason that way. Once you do the right thing, I will praise you. Is Donald Trump from Ishama Farugu? Is Donald Trump a black man? Is he from Africa? But I support him because he's doing the right thing. It doesn't matter. He's doing the right thing. People are queuing to go to US to get US green card to live there. Is your father or your mother or your village headmaster are they in White House? Do you know who they are? You go to America because of how the society is structured and the policies that governs the conduct of governance and the people. That is why you go to America. Not because somebody's from Izombe. I'm going to go to California because California governor is from my village, from Izombe. This primitive zoo politics that you play. If Abdul Razak behaves very well from Kwara State, I will praise him as the governor of Kwara State because he's doing the right thing. Do the right thing and we praise you. Do the terrible thing and we shred you. It's as simple as that. That is how honest and sincere that we are. And I also commend Ambassador Campbell for having written this very brilliant piece because everybody's suffering. And now is the time for people to do the right thing, and they're doing it now. They are doing it now. And Ambassador Campbell actually acknowledged that, which is a very good thing to do. You must acknowledge that things are happening. And they say that the military high command has warned the zoological republic, because I want to let you know this evening. I told you that I got a message this evening from a high-ranking army officer. I won't tell you where he comes from. And he said to me, you know, I don't lie. I have no time for that. He said to me that protesters will not be shot. So I was flabbergasted when I went and I read online that the military high command not put at eyes Fulani army. Listen carefully. That is why everybody must support this ongoing protest. I'm telling you, it's achieving a lot of things. Military high command warns against violent attacks on protesters for the very first time in the history of Africa. In fact, I would say the history of Africa. I'll say the history of West Africa. in the history of West Africa. The military high command warns against violent attacks on protesters. Can you believe that? After Buratai must have said, we are coming to defend Buhari's government, they said Buratai said, nobody saw him, Makandi blame. They will say, Buratai, you can never see him because he's gone never to return. The armed forces of Nigeria have assured NSTAS protesters of their safety. This is the beginning. So the army is actually divided. For the very first time in the history of the zoo. You know, sometimes when people see the news, they don't read between the lines. Here we read between the lines. After Buratai must have come out to say, we are here to defend the Buhari administration and regime. We are here to defend him, law and order. But you have not gone to Sambisa forest to fight. The armed forces issued their statement, the Joint Command of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, they issued their statement assuring protesters of their safety. But you will see that the only people going to shoot at protesters, if you catch that policeman or that army man, you will see that that very person is Fulani. They are Fulani. The military high command warned against, there is no violent protest. Protest is protest. IPOB used to protest. There was no violence. Nobody will even say that his mobile phone was missing or his wallet or her wallet got lost in the process. They are all peaceful. People should stop lying. The politicians are the ones that will send their dogs to go and join the protesters and be causing havoc. It is the same politicians. A statement from the military authorities assured that the military is committed to the safety and stability of the country. The armed forces have expressed dismay over some violent-related protests across the country. Over some. They know it is the politicians who are sponsoring those people to go and cause mayhem. And I am advising the protesters to remain peaceful. You can block entrance to somewhere, you can make your point, but you must remain peaceful. You must remain peaceful. You must remain peaceful. Peaceful means you don't steal. Peaceful means you don't harass or disturb people. You allow people to get on with their lives, but you can block bridges, you can block roads because you are upset, and everybody can identify with that. Very, very important place. So the army, the high command of the army is guaranteeing the safety of the protesters as long as they continue to protest peacefully. So what the army needs to understand tonight, after listening to this very broadcast, is that those causing trouble, those fomenting trouble are politicians. The same politicians, yes, it's them. Like Sanwo Olu in Lagos State, going to hire thugs from Mushi to go and attack protesters. The same people. And I have actually messaged the US ambassador to note Sanwo Olu and consider him for visa ban. Sanwo Olu must be banned. He must be banned from visiting US and the EU. The governor of Lagos State is a two-faced bastard. He's a snake. One minute you're coming out and saying you're with the NSAS protesters, the next minute you're holding meetings with a few criminals, claiming that the leaders of the group, you're giving them money to disband and to stop the protest. Third minute, you are going to Mushi and renting thugs belonging to your master Tinubu to go and disrupt protesters. And you claim you're a Democrat. You claim you are a Democrat. The governor of Enugu State must come out and issue a statement. The end-SARS protest in Enugu must continue until Ugwuani comes out to address the protesters. He must address them. The same thing must happen also in Ebonyi. The same thing must happen in Umuahia. It must happen. The governors of these states must come out to tell the people that there is no more SARS in my state. Or else they are part of the problem. Or else they are part and parcel of the problem. They are part of it. So when they do good, we commend them. I also commend those of them in the military high command in the zoo that came out and said they will not attack the protesters. Every formation under your unit, you must give them orders not to shoot. People must go back to the history of modern Russia. Do you remember, was it in 1991 or 1992 when the government of Gorbachev was threatened by Communist Party apparatchiks? They wanted to overthrow Gorbachev. And then Yeltsin was the president of the Russian Federation. under the former Soviet Union. Listen very carefully. Some of you should go back. In fact, I'm asking our warriors to go back tonight and dig out the video where the army of Russia, one of the strongest armies in the history of man, they sent them to go and kill their people. They said they will not shoot at them. Somebody should bring it out. I want to tweet it, and I want to tag the Nigerian Army headquarters to understand how patriotic people behave. Go and get it for us, please. Okay. Nobody should go to Supreme Court administrator, Fulani administrator of Imo State. Did he vote for him? Or did he even reach himself into power? No. He was appointed by the Fulani judge. Nothing should have that sort. People should demonstrate, if he comes out, that is his business. But everyone must tell us, are there any SARS unit in your state still in operation? As simple as they should clarify themselves. The same way that we are not it. That is what they must do. They must clarify themselves. They must clarify themselves. And as I was saying before, please go and get me a video of Boris Yeltsin climbing aboard a Russian tank in front of Russian White House in Moscow to stop the coup, to stop the army from killing their own people. Somebody should bring it out so that the zoo army can see how patriotic soldiers behave. So we can educate them. The same way we have succeeded in educating ordinary people in the zoo, it is now about time to educate the army and the police as well, so that they will understand. The same way that people are now phoning and writing and calling and saying, oh my goodness, if not for Radio Biafra, we listen to you people all the time. You have changed our mind. You have changed the way we think, everything. We are, of course, it's not us, it's Chukwuka Kabiama that is doing it, not man. I like what the governor of Borno State said. He said, please send the disbanded SARS officers to help us fight Boko Haram in Borno. And that is where they should be going to. They love shooting people. I want to prove to the world that all they specialize in doing is killing civilians. They cannot fight any war. They cannot fight any battle. That is the fact of life. And that is what I'm making abundantly clear to the hearing of the whole world today. They should send all those SARS people to Borno. Let them go to Sambisa Forest to go and showcase their happy skills. And I'm sure they cannot be able to do it. That is what the governor of Borno State, maybe some of these governors, I don't know what they are on right now. I don't know what they are eating or what they are drinking. Some of them are coming to their senses in the zoo. That is a proper revolution. Or maybe they are lying to themselves, who knows? Maybe they are lying to themselves, who knows? But if you're still alive, send your troops to go and fight Boko Haram, not killing innocent protesters, as you intend to do. Fulani is intimidation. Fulani thinks they can intimidate everybody. We are going to unleash the army. The army will come. We will do it. They are going to hire their thugs. Their thugs will come. They'll offer you money. Their thugs will come. They'll try to divide you. They'll try to buy over the leadership. Once you remain very strong, we'll send the police first. After we overwhelm the police, they'll send the army. And the army will capitulate and everything you want to be given to you. That is how you change your life. That is why this protest must continue. And somebody said something in the morning about supporting those, our volunteers, those who are on the front. And I'm giving this order, is a direct order, to every IPOB unit across every part of the zoo, including Biafra land, to protect, guide all the protesters and make sure that they are well fed where we can feed them. You feed them. I am asking families to rise up to feed those who are out on the streets. You must feed them. You must give them water to drink. It is very, very important because they are fighting for you. And having said that, I want to commend our mothers in the USA, our women in the USA. I told you before, when our women come out, especially in the USA, that the narrative will change. They have come out and they are doing very, very well. IPOB Women's Wing, Omoata in the USA, our liaison officers and all those engaged in emergency fundraising in support of the very gallant youths who are out on the streets protesting and risking their lives for the betterment of everybody. Our mothers in the USA, IPOB, of course, they have been doing some fundraising and doing it very well at that. I want to commend the husbands of our women I want to commend also the wives of our husbands, those we have in the US that came out together. In less than 2 weeks, in less than 2 weeks, because they were doing it before in support of the work that the volunteers are doing at home, and also now our gallant youths that are risking their lives on the streets to give us a better future. And today I can confirm that they have raised $120,000. That is the way we roll. You know, I told them before, who is the politician? Who is the idiot? You can come out and say, don't say this in the radio BIAFRA and say, we sponsor you. Who is the bagger? And who is the idiot? We are all over the world. This is just a handful of women. Just a few of them with our liaison officers. Their husbands. They just got together a few days ago and they have raised $120,000 in support of what is happening on the ground back home. That is how strong we are. That's how formidable we are. We don't need to go to... I said two things. I'm not going to go to any money bag to ask for funds to buy weapons because I'm building them myself. We build it ourselves. We build our own ourselves. Because not when it starts now, Britain will say, in view of maintaining regional stability in West Africa, we are imposing no arms sales to everybody. But from the back, they'll be selling arms to Fulani terrorists. And I said, you know me, I spent years reading and studying why we failed in 1970. And we are not going to make the same mistakes. The weapons we are going to use, we are going to manufacture ourselves. If you ask them in any good, they will tell you. They are wondering, where are these ordinances coming from? Where are they coming from? Now they know how formidable we are. And we are waiting for their army to mobilize and we'll destroy them. We will destroy the Nigerian army, write it down on a piece of paper. Any day they move against civilians, we will destroy them. They know how serious we are. They think we are joking. It's only COVID-19 that saved the zoo. This year, if at all it has been saved. We told them that people will rise up this year and have risen up. Go to my broadcast. Somebody reminded me of my broadcast where I said it. Go back to it and you will say it. Those on the streets must remain on the streets. And we thank our mothers once again in the USA. And I wish mothers in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in South America can rise up and do the same thing as well. In fact, in every country, not just in continent, this is only USA. And they have not stopped there. They just informed me today that they have raised this wonderful amount of money. $120,000 they raised. And we commend them for that. Thank you very much. And more grease to your elbows. We thank them very, very much. And now our lines are going to open. I'm going to give you a different line to call tonight, please. You must listen very carefully and note the number down. I am going to give you a different number to call tonight, please. I beg of you. You must listen very, very carefully to this line that I'm going to give to you and call it, please. It is a different line altogether, please. And when somebody is on the line, please hold back a little bit. Hold back a little bit. The number I'm going to give you is a German number. Please, +49 162 73 06 732. Please, if somebody is on the line talking on that very line, if I pick up a call on WhatsApp, it's a WhatsApp line, please. Do not call. Allow that person to finish, or else this line will be jammed. The line that I gave out in the morning has been jammed. It's no longer working, more or less. It has been jammed, completely, fully jammed. Please, I am releasing this number, and our Skype as well is IPOB2020@outlook.com. IPOB2020@outlook.com. And for our WhatsApp line is +49 162 730 6732. If at all we can take calls tonight, or we can defer it till tomorrow morning. Some are saying that we should defer it till tomorrow morning. Since people are coming on tomorrow morning, that we should defer it. And if that is the case, people are calling, they don't want to wait till tomorrow morning. Let us take this very call. The caller on the line, please, can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please. What is your name?
My name is Chibueze Akujimba. I'm calling you from Nairobi, Kenya.
From Nairobi in Kenya.
I am from Isialambano, Isialambano local government, Imo State.
Thank you very much.
So that is my hometown in BIAFRA. So please, Mazi, there is this thing I want you to help us help our brothers, educate our brothers, because it just occurred to me. The reason why police are tormenting only the southeast is our BIAFRA land and our Ududuwa brothers. When you look at how much, okay, if you come back now to that our southeast, maybe you come out from abroad, you come back home, you don't want police harassment, you go to the office and say, I need 2-3 police officers so that they will be in front of my vehicle so that I will not have any disturbance. You end up every month you can pay up to 300,000. So ask them, our people, who is eating that money? And they have used this thing to police to harass all, and this thing only happens to the whole of our southeast, the whole of our south, the whole of south. That's Biafran land and the Yoruba land. So all this money that when people come back, they say they want the escort so that police will not disturb. And they are doing this thing intentionally to frustrate the life of people so that when you get money, you come back, come to the station and say you want police escort. When you multiply how much money that these people collect from people every day on daily basis, I took one last week. I paid 20,000 per each police officer. 20,000. Multiply it by 5,000 policemen every day. You see who is eating that money? Where is that money going? And they are doing this thing intentionally so that our people will continue to patronize their business. So that is what I want you to look into and see how you can educate our people to stop that rubbish. We will not be taking the police again from them and let them remove all the useless police from the road. We will secure ourselves.
Of course, we will. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and well spoken as well. Thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on Skype can hear me. They are reconnecting. As I said before, if we have too many people, we're going to have difficulties because the lines will crash. That is what they always do. The lines will crash. That is what they always do. Please take it easy. Take it easy. If you do not take it easy, no. The calls are too much. It's just way too much, as always. And it is a good thing, as a matter of fact. People can please call us also on Skype. IOB 2020 at outlook.com. Thank you very much, Annie. Because our enlightenment is working. Of course, it is working. It is working. And that is why everywhere is changing. Everywhere is reverberating. And people now understand the seriousness of what we are doing. I have a caller on the line, please. On Skype, your name and where you are, please. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Please, you speak up. We are listening and we're waiting for you. The whole world is waiting. Give us your name and where you are, please.
Greetings to you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am calling all the way from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
From Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I'm a bona fide son of Biafra land, from Owerri to be precise.
Thank you very much. Owerri. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I will pray that God or simply will continue to guide you for the good work you're doing for the people of Biafra. And God will continue to strengthen you.
And bless IPOB as well. Very, very important. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm blessed IPOB as well. Mazi, like I have been having issues here with some of my friends, and they are telling me, though they are from Biafra land, most of them are arguing with me if I am sure this Biafra will really come or will surely come.
Where is the idiot asking you this question? He cannot see his mates on the streets agitating for a better life. And he's somewhere asking you when. Please don't go towards that direction. I don't want to discuss idiots or saboteurs on this anymore. I want to discuss ideas that can move on, please. If you have anything else to say, you say. Just forget all these idiots. They're inconsequential. Inconsequential,
yeah,
please.
My own take this day, because it's morning over here. My own take is that in the midst of this contest and in the midst of this protest that is going on in the Zoo, Nigeria, I don't know if we can actually take up this. Maybe when the protest has gone down a little bit, we the IPOB members and the youth over there in Nigeria can actually, kick off with our own protest, flagging off the Biafra flag and let the people know, because the Arewa, they are taking themselves to their own side, and the Ududuwas are taking themselves to their own side. And you initiated all this, you ignited the fire that has started burning in their hearts for them to actually remember that they are coming from a particular place. Though the white man has met everyone together, you lighted the fire, and I believe if we start, flagging off our own flag after this protest, I think that will actually help for the world to recognize us more in the heat of this very protest.
Thank you very much. What we are praying for actually is for everybody to be free. Everybody, for them to understand that freedom is vital, and for them to be free as well. That's what we're asking for. And once they get to that very juncture, then it is all over for the zoo. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, my dear brother, and continue the good work. I don't want to discuss idiots and inconsequential issues anymore. Please don't tell me what your idiotic friends are telling you. If they cannot read the handwriting on the wall, that's entirely up to them. And I want to advise each and every person doing life has to focus on the issues and leave personalities out of it. Don't mention anybody's name. Don't discuss people. Focus on the issues of Biafra alone. That is what we are here for. Very, very important, please. Very, very important, please. Our lines have completely gone, completely crashed again. But we are taking calls on Skype. The caller on Skype, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Yes, I can hear you very well. Good evening from here.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, Biafra, friends of Biafrans and lovers of freedom. My name is Most Fevoni. I come from Osogor, and I'm calling from Kingdom of Netherlands.
From Netherlands. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yes. Onyendu, first and foremost, I must thank you. Chukwuabiama will see you through, and Chukwuabiama will see us through. In our own My contribution to this very ongoing protest is this. One thing, I remember a few weeks ago, you told us that you will appoint a Twitter campaign manager, sort of someone, a formidable member of IPOB who will be overseeing our Twitter campaign. So until this moment, I'm still looking forward for that, because if that office has been given, if you have been commissioned that very office, this is a good time now for us to hijack this protest based on Twitter, as in on social media aspect. Now our people in the Biafra land and in wider zoo are shouting "End Nigeria, end Nigeria." If we only your post on Twitter alone, when I take the retweet or your comment on any post you make on Twitter, it's over 5,000 retweet of any post you make. Now, if we have a Twitter person that will be kind of leading this very campaign on Twitter, if over 5,000 people per day are retweeting "End Nigeria, end Nigeria, end Nigeria," this Twitter post now that today join the struggle to say NSAS. You also know that this Nigeria, you see a number of people shouting "End Nigeria." So that very campaign is the word that we are not just not interested in ending this SARS, but also we want to bring an end to that very zoological republic. So that is my suggestion. I know there is a lot on your head, but we need this media head so we can hijack the Facebook and this Twitter by tweeting this end zoological republic. That is my first contribution. Second one is, again, it's your question kind of, now that this campaign is ongoing, protest is very high. This is not a bad time for our people also to, in the midst of this protest of Nigeria, we can also be showcasing a placard in their midst showing end zoological republic, because we are saying NSAS and police reform. We can also inform, give the order, and it will be done. Our people also inside be in their means, and also the placard will be flying over end Nigeria. That is just my suggestion. Onions, thank you for giving me the time. And will see us today.
He said, thank you very much and well spoken. Thank you very, very much. We have interviewed one of our sisters, or should I say a daughter in Houston, Texas. And very soon her name will be announced and she will start. She's actually an attorney. She's an attorney, and very soon she will start work. We've interviewed her and she will join us very, very shortly. Be rest assured. We need this very Twitter czar all over the world to make sure we have a Twitter account, and also to make sure that we follow each other and that we retweet each other. We retweet each other as well. Thank you very much. The caller on the line on Skype, can you hear me? They have, in fact, WhatsApp is gone. It's gone. Please go ahead. The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please, your name and where you're calling us from, if you may.
Hello?
I can hear you for the last time, your name and where you are.
I'm calling from Stuttgart.
From Stuttgart in Germany. Please go ahead. What do you have to say? Go ahead.
Please, I'm a suggestion. I am not suggestion. I want to buy a protest by Nigeria.
It will be premature for that. If you do end Nigeria now, Britain will step in and they will ask the world to stop following. They will start talking nonsense about regional stabilization. It's like if you give birth to a baby, do you start giving that baby apple that day? Do you have a child? Do you have a child? You don't have a child yet. Yes. Have you seen where a little baby has been raised before? Have you been in a family where you see a little child being raised before?
Yes.
If your child is born, but first of all, do you believe that this very protest that is going on is like a newborn baby? Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe that, because I haven't seen this kind of thing before in Nigeria before.
Thank you very much. When you have a child and you give birth to a child, what do you start giving the child when the child is newly born?
Cerelac.
No, Cerelac comes a few days after. Once a child is born, the first thing you give to the child is either water or you give the child breast milk. Except breast milk. That's how you start. If you give birth to that child, are you going to give that child Samovita or Indomie? If you give it to that child, the child's digestive system cannot handle it, and that baby will probably die. That is how it is. What you have in the spirit, you also have in real life. This very campaign is only a few days old. If you overfeed it with what you need, if you give it chicken, you give it turkey, you give it goat, it will die. You understand? You nurture it.
It's true.
You nurture it. You nurture it. When the consciousness of the people have been risen or elevated to a particular level, then their demands will change. We are not asking we're not just going to say, oh, you must end Nigeria. No, there are reasons as to why Nigeria needs to end. The same way there are reasons as to why SARS needs to end. The world has bought into the SARS narrative that SARS needs to end. That is why Facebook joined. God forbid Facebook check a book. That is the reason why Google joined. That is the reason why also Twitter joined. So you see, if you go now for end Nigeria, I'm telling you the truth, Britain will move mountains. They have the money. Fulani Janjaweed will move billions. They will move it. They will spend it. And all the influencers will stop talking about it. And it will die there. We don't want to make that mistake. We know where we are going. It took people many years to get to where they are today. We must nurture them as we move forward. But the end destination is to end Nigeria, and Nigeria will end. That I can assure you. Be rest assured. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Yes. And you too, my dear brother. May Chukwukabiyama bless you immensely. Our lines are open. We are flooded with calls, inundated with people who are trying to speak from all over the world. But we must listen to them. The caller on the line, please call us on Skype, please. IDOB2020@outlook.com. Please give us your name and where you are. The caller on Skype. Yes, please, your name and where you are. The whole world is listening to your voice. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
My name is Chikeluen Zako.
Chikeluen Zako, where are you calling from?
Yes, from Mimo in Chikoka, Anambra State.
A very beautiful place in Chikoka. Lovely name. I love it in Chikoka. Beautiful name. Please go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead.
Yes, Mazi. I reside in Makurdi in Benue State.
Makurdi in Benue State, yes.
Makurdi in Benue State.
Yes.
By the grace of God, I've been trying to talk to one or few people of Benue State. And I know that our brothers in the Middle Belt.
Yes.
Today, there was a protest happened today in Benue State. I was so disturbed that the protest only happened at the IDP Square in Makurdi. The protesters were unable to leave that premises to come outside the town to protest. It was so. But I think maybe they were constrained, maybe by the authorities, because the first time was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, what happened? I want to ask you, what happened 2 days ago? Repeat what happened 2 days ago. What happened 2 days ago? Please tell me.
2 days ago, Mazi.
Yes.
People came out in mass. There's a place called Savannah Roundabout. Savannah Roundabout is a popular roundabout in Mazi. Roundabout. That's the major roundabout in Mazi, after Urukuru roundabout. So that was where people gathered trying to block the road and protest. The police came, and I know that was on the account of the command by the CP. They came with armored truck and dispersed everybody that was gathered to protest. People left.
That is a Fulani way. People must understand the Fulani will always come with intimidation. It is in their mindset. That is the way they are. Because for you to drive, you can see a Fulani 10-year-old boy moving cattle that is bigger than him 10 times over. The only way you can get a cattle to move is to intimidate the cattle, to pitch the cattle, to drive the cattle, to whip it, to use koboko, to use cane, to use stick. That is the only thing Fulani understand. When they will always try and remain resolute, firm. And let me tell protesters, and I'm sure they're doing it now, what they need to do, people should be going live wherever there is protest. Focus your camera on the army or the police wherever they are, within the in the vicinity of the protest ground. Put them on live so that the whole world can see what is happening. Had Makurdi done the same thing, they would have been strong today. And I'm asking them, all of them listening to us tonight, to come out tomorrow to that very square. Very roundabout you're talking about. Go live. Once you see them, you go live. Their faces will be there. They know that someone like James Wafa would face prosecution. There is no single SARS officer that killed anybody that will go scot-free. Not one single soul. That is why this very campaign must be sustained. Please tell them in macro that they must come out. They shouldn't be afraid. They should come out and they should go live. Very, very important, please. Very, very important, please. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very, very much for your call. Thank you for your call, please. The calls are rolling in from everywhere. From everywhere, the calls are rolling in. Unbelievable. I have another caller on Skype. This caller, can you hear me? The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? Yes, please, your name and where you're calling us from. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
My name is Daniel. I'm calling you from New York.
Daniel from New York. Daniel, are you in a lion's den?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, this Daniel. What is your father's name? Are you the same Daniel that left the lion's den unscathed?
And my name is Bright.
My goodness. Are you Daniel or your Bright?
Can you hear me?
Let me get it right. Are you Daniel or your Bright?
My name is Bright. My father's name is Daniel.
Bright Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Listen, please, where are you from?
Yes, I don't know.
You don't know where you're from?
Sorry, my lord. I am from Abia State. I'm from Abia State, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Mazi, my question is this. My question is this. Sometimes
No. You are on hands-free. No. Take your phone off hands-free. I don't want hands-free. Put your phone on your ear and talk to me direct. If I can hear your voice, if you can hear my voice.
Mas, I can hear you. Mas, I can hear you. I want to speak with you. Can you hear me?
Okay, please go ahead. Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. No.
Jesus, what is
You come and you go. That is the problem. I don't know what is happening in New York where you are. I don't know what is going on. Please try and resolve it and you call us back, please, if you may, because I would like to take your call. I believe that you have something very, very important to contribute. One of us is with us now on the phone. Can you hear me? Yes, how are you? Turn your system down. Turn your system down or you move away. I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
Sophia, sir.
Yes.
I have a record here from Edo State. So I can translate it in broken English so that all over the world will hear it.
Go ahead.
Our Edo State people are complaining that they start still. I am Solomon, my fellow Biafra friend. I went to a shop. It's not now that I've been beaten. I don't say to you, all of us, we are wake up. If this country wants to divide, let it divide. He said he's the one of the protest mobilizer. He said the Edo State IPOB coordinator is my friend. He was telling me about Biafra, but I didn't put my mind.
No, the protest not okay.
The protest started.
Now tell us.
He said.
What did he say?
He said they start the protest, so he now met the coordinator. They now talk about the protest. The protest now starts.
That is getting back because finance.
There is no finance, no food, nothing. They are inside the shop.
Celebrity.
He said in Lagos State there are many actors, many celebrities that is supporting them. They are in Eko. If you can see Lagos now, the protest is still going on.
So what do they need in Benin? What do they need? Because I gave an instruction in the morning, and somebody actually wrote to me. I gave an instruction in the morning, and I'm giving the same instructions now to everybody who runs a restaurant in Benin City, to make sure that they bring out some food and some water to feed the people. But we want people who are genuinely motivated to see change to come out for protest, not those looking for food. Do you understand it? Because if we begin to provide food for everybody...
Yeah, they say they don't want to collect any money from the politicians or for the rich people. They want to do it on their own. They started the protest. So they need those people in diaspora or outside the country to support them. That they don't want, he said it on this audio. He said he don't want to eat chicken today. So he will start suffering tomorrow. He want to drink only water today so that tomorrow will be better. They are ready to break the soon. That is what he's talking about.
Yes. And that I want people that have and run restaurant to be able to provide food for those who are protesting. I said it when I saw that people are sleeping on Lekki Bridge. I made that announcement, and somebody wrote to me here to confirm that people are regarding Benin City as well. We want people to feed the protesters. They must be fed. It is only once a day and you drink water. But you're not coming out because of the money you're going to get from the diaspora or the help. No, we are not in a cooking competition. This is not it's not a jamboree. It's not a party where people are going to feed or where people are going to eat. What we are saying is that you must be out on the streets. From what you're doing, once you go live, once you come out in Benin City and you go live, the whole world will know what is happening and help will come to sustain it. I understand what it means, and we are going to do the best we can. Sorry? What did you say? They don't want to stop?
They don't want to stop this agitator because in Edo, SARS have been killing our people in Edo State, not now. They have been killing a lot. So it's Edo people and Delta people that start this protest. So they don't want to stop, like Lagos State. You understand? That is what they are complaining now. That they don't want money from the politicians. You understand? So we want our people to also talk to them. The Delta people and Edo people, we want our people to talk to them on ground. That is what they need, sir.
Okay, that's what I got. Now, when they organize their protest tomorrow, if they come to protest, I will be like a special line for them to call. And through that line, the whole world can hear what is happening in Edo State as well. And wow, Sophia, thank you very much for your call. Thank you. It's a very important information. Thank you very, very much for your call. Thank you for your call. And I also want to say that everybody can be a Twitter chief wherever they are. Get around you, get 10 people minimum around you to join Twitter. That's what IPOB family members can do all over the world. And of course, Amaka Eko is there, who's my press secretary, and can be able to guide anybody to follow anybody. Emeka Esumto is there. These are hardened tweeters. There will be people that tweet regularly and always. You go to them, any of them. It's as simple as that. Call on the number that I provided, not the other one, please, I beg of you. Have a caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Good evening, Mazi.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening, Mazi. I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Ike. I'm calling from UK.
Ike, what? What is your father's name? Here we don't hide who we are.
Chinedu.
Chinedu, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I must have to commend you. I must commend you. You are doing a wonderful job, Mazi.
Is IPOB and Chukwu in heaven? In reverse order, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, I must commend you and IPOB. Yeah, you are doing a great job. Mazi, I know that what is happening now is as a result of the job you've been doing and IPOB have been doing for years. It has started yielding fruits and bountifully too. I was speaking with a friend early today. He was saying that how come every time you come to the air and you talk and there is no strategy, that he doesn't understand you anymore. I told him, my reply was very simple. I told him, if at all you don't learn anything when you listen to Nnamdi, that means you are not intelligent. You are simply not intelligent. Because you have fed people with enough information and have emboldened them, have given them the strength to march out to the street. Before you cannot talk to a policeman anyhow. You cannot speak to an army man anyhow in Nigeria. Both the police and the staff and even the army, they now know that there is a limit to what away from our people. To know that these people who are in the military, the difference is just that they have a gun. They have gun, they have weapons.
That's all.
And that is just the difference, just the basic difference, nothing more.
Nothing more. They have nothing else. Only that AK-47 and bullet inside it. And Fulani Janja Buddhism. And corrupt politicians backing them. And nothing.
And I was also telling him that the reason we must have to have Biafra, is this. There is no need, when you have a problem with your brother, and when you have a problem with your brother, the brother goes to a DPO who is from Kanu or Medugri and gives him money, he comes against you and fights you in your home. But if you have Biafra, maybe you get a DPO from Anambra who is serving in Imo, and he misbehaves. We trace him to his house in Anambra, wherever he is in Anambra, and we deal with him. How can you trace somebody who is from Kanu or Sokoto and who is being backed up by Abuja? So this is the problem we have. The problem we must solve this problem by insisting that we must have a country of our own, so that we have little problem to manage. Nigeria is too big and a problem that nobody knows how. Even God Himself cannot. I'm not trying to look down on God, but the way He's structured, the way Nigeria is structured, there is a limit to what God can. God has given us the power now to reclaim our country. So please, I don't want to take more time. You continue what you are doing. You are really doing marvelously. And another thing is this, please, I need to get UK's, this is so I can join IPOB UK, please.
It is very, very easy and very, very simple. Ask anybody around you, they'll tell you where you are. And you have spoken very well this evening, and what you have said we have taken on board. And for the very first time, I'm being honest with you, I have two messages here. I'm not going to say her surname, but I have somebody from Adamawa State. Her name is Miriam. For the first time, I am receiving these messages. And she's saying that she's from Adamawa State. I'm not going to say her surname. She gave me her surname. She said, I'm from Arewa, Adamawa State. I'm so happy of all what you have been doing for making our friends and family to understand how dumb we are about our freedom. I am not even up to 18 years old. It's only God that can bless you. I don't know what could have happened to us without your support and you advising us. I'm also thanking for the confidence in you that make you to save future millions. She's a teenager writing to us from Adamawa. Somebody also wrote something. He said, I want to speak to, what did he say? He said, I want to speak to my Hausa people. He said, I want to speak to Hausa people. He is writing from where? Where is his name again? Somebody also wrote and said, I want to speak to my Hausa brethren. But the calls are too much. They are flooding too much that I cannot even call him back. That is how difficult it is. I cannot even call him back. That is how hard it is. Let us take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Thank you very much. I'm blessing you.
Thank you for taking my call. My leader, my name is Bright Daniel. I am calling you from New York.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky. With over 3,000 missed calls here, you got through. Please go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
The other time you said that there is no volunteer in diaspora. There should be no volunteer in diaspora. But I'm now asking you, Mazi, why have you forgotten that it was the hardcore volunteer that collected the Red Cap Yam Festival from Germany? They are the hardcore. That match every in Japan to bring out Danny before he ran away. Mazi, please use every power you have to restore the volunteers in diaspora. But I am working in the presidential, what do you call it, terminal. I am every day waiting, looking for the space mark president to pass so that I will dismantle.
You will attack him and dismantle him, and nothing will happen. Once you see him in an airport, take off his mask. Go ahead.
Every day I go to work, I engage the policemen working in the same terminal in my area. I told them where I come from. There are politician governors who are criminals that I want to arrest them. I have been engaging them in conversation because I know that one day this my trap will catch fish, restore the diaspora volunteers with immediate effect. Man, I give to you responsibility because the state government cannot do it. Remember how they search for these people in Japan. Remember how Japanese volunteers, die-hard volunteers, found the whole Japan upside down, looking for Jubilee al-Sudani, and they hide him in the hotel. Remember how the volunteers collected the red cap and put it in IDOB museum in Germany. Have you forgotten?
I have not. You have made you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear brother. You have made a very compelling point. You know me, I always concede to superior argument and superior reasoning, and I agree with you. You have won me over with the strength of your argument, and we are going to organize it very well. We are going to restore it, and we are going to organize it very well. There will be volunteers in the diaspora. I understand what you're saying. You made a very stupendous argument, amazing argument. I love it. I love it when people engage me intellectually and get me to change my mind. I love it. The arguments you've advanced are unquestionable, and we shall restore volunteers across every nook and cranny of the world. These are the people who are going to die once Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar steps out of the zoo. We will sacrifice one person. The first person that will not attack him to remove his mask. That silicon ear, we'll pull it out for the whole world to see. They're playing with us. They don't know how determined. Of course, now they know. Now they know how determined we are. They know, and they cannot mess with us. The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia, thank you very much. Please, the world is listening. Go ahead.
Okay, I take you first. Let me go straight to the point. Watching what is happening here, watching what is happening in Nigeria from here, I can see that the government are now putting up the politicians that the youth can listen to.
Yes.
They brought people like Senator Abaribe because...
What did Abaribe say? No, don't go too far. What did the senator say? What did Abaribe say? Please go ahead. What did Abaribe say?
He said that they come up with what they want by tomorrow morning, that he will be in the office to listen to them. Because the youth are not listening to anyone at all. So even for over 1 year, we haven't heard from Osibanjo. Now, Vice President has to have some faced, which is not called for. We are going to listen to him. We know, watching it from here, we know that the person there, it is not the president. He cannot have a public audience. He cannot grant any life. The one that he made is on the last video he made is 1 minute. It is not up to 2 minutes, which is very wrong. There is nothing hard telling us that this president is not the president, but the North wants power, and power consumes people. So what I am going to say is, people, prominent politicians that really know the youth will listen to them, should not allow themselves to be used by Nigerian government.
What did Osibanjo say? Did you see Osibanjo live? Did you see Osibanjo live? Or was it one of those deep fake videos? Did you see Osibanjo live saying something?
Recently, he have been making some comments.
No. Those things are fake. No, Osibanjo, not at all. If Osibanjo is live, they would have sent him to Lagos. I'm telling you the truth. If Osibanjo is alive, they would have sent him to Lagos. I'm just being honest with you. This is a government of deep fake video. If you look at that video, the claim is Buhari. Of course, it's not Buhari. You will see that the movement of the head and the movement of the shoulder does not rhyme together. It's deep fake video. That's what Chinese people can do for you. It's called deep fake. Go and Google it. Deep fake video. You can get Obama tonight giving a speech on deepfake video regarding NSAS if you want. But we are not shady people. That is something they must know. But the mask wearer, if he touches Europe or America, we have taken him. All alam more. We will sacrifice 2 or 3 lives, but we'll get him, and the zoo is gone. And then that day, Hausa will just fall away from Sokoto. I'm telling you the truth. That's their deceit. Will be open for the whole world to see. I'm going to ask Senator Baribe what is going on. Of course, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a senator. He will say what is happening. Let us try and resolve it. After all, they swore to uphold the constitution of the zoo. That is their job, and that's what they're going to do. But I'm going to ask him what exactly he is doing, because this protest will continue. The demand is very simple. They submit the list of the demands. They must audit every SARS center. They must arrest every SARS officer responsible for any extrajudicial deaths. They must shut down SARS. They must transfer them to Sambisa Forest to go and fight Boko Haram. There must be a root and branch overhaul of the zoo police system. And the people, ordinary people, must sit on police commission to decide what happens. And there should be no checkpoints on the road. Police should not be carrying guns on you, harassing people. After all, Britain that gave the zoo independence, police people do not carry guns. As simple as that. That is something they must have in the zoo. And they must give people employment. The list is endless. Makadi Amama. The list is very, very long and endless. Thank you very much, my dear brother, for that. Thank you very much. I have another caller on Skype. That caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my leader. Good evening from here.
And good evening from here too. Your name, please, and where you're calling us from, if you may.
Yeah, my leader, my name is Obi Manashibike. I'm calling you from the state of Israel.
Israel, thank you very much. The Holy Land itself. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. My leader, your broadcast reminds me of what you taught us some time ago about the word you called ozone provocateur. And this time the word come up to my reasoning.
Of course.
It's high time you remind us that word again in order to strengthen our people that are protesting in Nigeria. Because I'm seeing the hands of the ozone provocateur. They will now come to indict them and mix up with them in order to criminalize them so that the government will clamp down on them. We are seeing how the Janjaweed are mobilizing, coming to attack the protesters. Very soon now they will start breaking into shops. And the world will say that the protesters has gone berserk and they start looting shops.
Yes.
So I want you
to educate us more about that. And secondly,
yes.
I want to call. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I want to call upon the lecturers in Nigeria. I hear that the government want to rush them in order to resume the higher institutions. I want to tell them that this is the time they have to get all their demands that they have been demanding since 1999. All that their demands that ordinary councillor in a local government is earning salary, earning a living more than a professor. This is the time they have to make it right. If the government comes to them and tell them to reopen the school, they have to meet all their demands before they will reopen. Because they will come now and bribe them and tell them to reopen so that all these youths that are agitating, they know that they are students, that when they resume school now, they will put exam and test to make them leave the street. So this is their time to get whatever they are demanding right. And I want to also call upon the pastors, the religious leaders. We have not heard anything from them up to now. These are their members.
You want to spoil their business? Do you want to spoil? I read what that the Freeze wrote. Do you want to spoil? They are threatening their business, ending Nigeria and being on the streets. Now that means people will not go for Saturday night on Thursday. People will not sow seed on Friday, and you think they have? These are businessmen. These are the worst. They are worse than your so-called pastors. Some of them, they are good men of God. Some of them are worse than politicians. They are worse than Sanwo Olu of Lagos. That came out and said, protest is good, it's guaranteed. Went back and hired thugs. You said something about Ocean Provocateur, and I will tell people how it works. That is why before you go for any protest, people must try and buy data for those who are protesting. Is very important. Charge your phone very well. Once you see them, you put them on live video to the world. If it is in Lagos, you tell them that this is Tinubu talk. This is Tinubu talk. I'm telling the world that this talk is from Sanwo Olu. It's Tinubu's talk. Let me see how the idiot can come out to contest in 2023. Talking rubbish. That's how you disgrace them, you bring them out. And if one of them mistakenly falls into the crowd, the idiot disappears and never to be seen again. He'll be given a beating of his life. That in his next life, if they ask him to go and practice toggery, he will say no, he will not practice it. As simple as that is how they behave. That's what they will always do. To infiltrate. That is the only thing that Fulani understands. To try to replicate that thing you're doing. That is the reason why when any saboteur, anytime I sack somebody from IPOB, they rush to that person immediately and say, oh, no, this is this. Can you try and do something so that we... Now, let me give you an example. You said that the pastors have not spoken. Is that true? Is that correct?
Yes, I said.
Is that what you are? Good. Now, can you ask yourself this question? Why is it that Owazirike has not spoken and Asante Dokubo has not spoken? Have you asked yourself that question? People don't know the meaning of this protest. This protest will tell you who a saboteur is. Have you seen that they have not spoken? Everybody has spoken. The Google see everybody of consequence have spoken, but the inconsequential ones cannot speak. Have you that blabber mouth is spitting on the screen? Has he spoken? He's a freedom fighter. Has he spoken? Has Gani Adams not spoken? Has the honor Rekaka Rubala not spoken? I'm asking you, is there anybody who is an honest person who has not spoken out in support of the protesters? I am asking you a question.
Everybody has spoken.
Why has Owazirike not spoken? Why has Owazirike not spoken? Why has Asante Dokubo not spoken? Because they are agents of the zoo. Somebody should translate in English for me, please. Not to bright. Somebody should translate. It is people shouting, they are freedom fighters, they are freedom this struggle, they are fighting the freedom. Now the youths are out on the streets. Now they need support. Now that money they are using to build hotel, that money they are using to build hostel in Cotonou, the people now need it on the street to feed, to sustain the campaign, to change things. Where are they? Where are they? Those that claim they are freedom fighters, where are they? BBC will go and interview Asante Dokubo, ask him what he's saying about end the SARS campaign. Go and interview Owazirike. They are criminals. Everybody who is anybody have spoken in support of our young people on the streets protesting. Look at those criminals being funded by Fulani Janjaweed. They convince some idiots. They convince some fools that they are fighting for freedom. I kept for 1 week now. They have not spoken. Maybe tomorrow now, after hearing my broadcast, you see the idiot talking rubbish. Now that the protest is on, why is it that they cannot speak? This is the same mass up. They want some idiots say IPOB mass. You want to stain the impeccable image of IPOB. Do you know what IPOB is? You want to say IPOB mass up? Look at them, they cannot speak. Can they speak? They cannot talk because their master Fulani Janjaweed is in trouble. He's in very serious trouble. For goodness sake, thank you very much for your call. And with that, we have come to the end of our program this very week. Was busy inspecting his new hotel site. He was supervising the offloading of Dangote cement in the new hostel he's building. People he claims I'm a revolutionary, I'm a freedom fighter. Now that children are out on the streets, we have raised $100,000 and we are going to spend it on people who are on the streets. The same way we did during COVID-19 with our palliative, we shall do it on the streets. We are sending support, relief. Tomorrow morning, relief is going to Benin City to sustain them. Stupid idiot. Busy inspecting hotel. This one is busy building school, asking for amnesty, collecting money, building hostels, and the idiots, stupid fools, refer to these vagabonds as freedom fighters. Useless people everywhere. We are whiter than white and whiter than snow. With $120,000, I can build a hotel if I want. But it is money contributed to the people to rescue Biafra, and that's going to be spent. We are bringing the program to an end. Tomorrow we reconvene 7 a.m. GMT. Go and set your alarm clock. This session, this enlightenment continues for the very first time. And I was not up to 18 years of age. She said, next birthday is my birthday. Thank you very much for what we have to, for what you're doing. You have opened our eyes. I have the text message here, and I will save it. I don't usually save text message, but I'll save this very one. Another one called and sent a message and said, I am trying to call you so I can advise my Hausa people. Because they know we speak the truth. They know we do not hate anybody. I cannot hate anybody. I was not born to hate anybody. What I despise are people that speak from both sides of the mouth. People who are not consistent. People who are cowardly. People who are deceptive. I cannot stand them. And that is why I hate Fulani Janjaweed. Tomorrow morning we'll continue the propagation of this very gospel. I thank you all for listening tonight, for your immense contributions. I thank our mothers in the USA, our liaison officers. As I'm thanking the mothers, I'm thanking their husbands as well for this very amazing work. Know that every dime you contribute to IPOB goes to that same thing you contributed it for. You understand that? That is why we are strong. We are building our own weapons. I don't depend on it from anywhere. Where is the money? Like where is the money that Ojukwu gave you to go and buy weapons? There was a turbulence on the sea, and the canoe capsized, and everything fell off. The zoo must fall. It's not even a promise. It is a testament. It must fall. The water, the zoo is gone already anyway. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back here again in the morning. With all the love in my heart, genuinely, I pray for those brave youths out there. It doesn't matter where they come from. If you're out on the street agitating for a better life, you have my love and you have my respect, and I give it to you all this very evening. We are going to do the best we can to support you. We are going to do the best we can to support you. This is IPOB, the largest mass. We are unstoppable. Remain blessed until tomorrow morning. From me, from here is good evening.
Hey, want my rivers to vanishing hope to life. Let the great BIAFRA army to fight. And they were singing out, Holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your magic, I pick a cock when I'm low. Hey, I'm making a mazu cheme for one more. It's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Right, get it from fast now. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another